Joining us to take all of this up is White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. And Kayleigh, it is great to have you with us. Let's start with all of the it's great to see you. Let's start with all of the violence that is hitting Democrat-run cities all across the country that the president and the administration have had to contend with. Your thoughts on what the administration's response will be in the days ahead as the violence continues?
Sure. So first, let me note just how appalling the status quo is. You had in Chicago the derelict mayor breaking up a beach party as her city was being looted. Her city 2 nights in a row being looted. Over in Seattle, as you noted, those cuts to the police department. What's so interesting about that is Seattle, of course, known for the CHOP zone, that lawless autonomous zone where 2 young men lost their lives and police couldn't even reach them. Their police department is one of the most diverse police departments in the nation, known for hiring a number of black men and women, and have been hailed as a real model for how to do things. But this would mean that they cut that police department by 100 officers. It's appalling as murders skyrocket in these Democrat cities. But what we're doing here at the administration, we've put in place Operation Legend. We're limited in what we can do in our federal capacity, but Operation Legend deploys extra FBI personnel and federal agents across the country to assist. And so far, they've arrested 250, charged 250, and they'll continue to be hard at work in assisting these local police departments.
Well, and speaking of arrests and the number of cities that seem to be hell-bent on cutting their police departments, in Chicago we learned that State's Attorney Kim Foxx has dropped over 25,000 felony charges in 3 years in that role. It looks like they could slash the prosecutor's office budgets as well. Your reaction?
What a complete and utter insult to the men and women, the young children, some toddlers who lost their lives in the streets because of this lawlessness. And you have a prosecutor dropping charges, which sends a signal to every criminal across Chicago that their actions will not receive adequate retribution, that they will not be held to a standard of justice in a court of law. It's disgusting, and it does an absolute disservice to the young toddlers, little boys and girls who lost their lives because of the derelict mayor, the prosecutor, and people who clearly don't care about law and order in their streets.
The president, as the law and order president, has to he has some difficult decisions ahead of him. Withdrawing federal law enforcement officers and agents from Portland, the result has been over the past more than a week now, a declaration of a riot by the local police department every evening since they have withdrawn. How much more can the country put up with?
Yeah, so those federal agents are there, and their only jurisdiction is to protect that courthouse. So what we've seen with these riots are they've been happening in places far away from the courthouse, or at least not there in the immediate jurisdiction of the officers. And what we've seen are finally Mayor Wheeler, who used to march alongside these rioters that he called peaceful protesters, finally admitting that when you lock people in a building, 20 federal officers and civilians in a building, try to set the building on fire while you intentionally trap people in there. You finally have the mayor, after 73 days, calling this attempted murder. It's unacceptable, and it's up to the mayor to control his streets.
Well, it may be up to him, but those streets remain well out of his control or anyone else's. Kayleigh McEnany, as always, it's great to have you with us. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lou.
Appreciate it.